Hey everybody. Hello Internet, and welcome to episode 66 of Enter the Dungeon. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Drew, who wants to give the recap of what happened last time.
Not it.
Ah, come on. Fine. So, we left off inside the mansion, in front of a stone, right?
I think we were in the room next door.
Next to the stone, okay. So, we were inside the mansion, Clyde's mansion, we believe, and we had found that book with note to Clyde from the Raven Queen. And then we kept going throughout the mansion and found the stone with a bunch of armor stuff around it. We were smart enough to disable that trap and get to the stone, but it was a fake stone. And Clyde was in the next room over, to which Earthmover broke the wall straight into his room.
We skipped a good deal of his house.
Although you guys
Yes.
are forgetting something kind of significant.
No, I remembered it as we started. The rod of the unmoving rod.
Immovable.
Yes.
Really, that
immovable
one.
rod. Yes.
Correct. You found an immovable rod.
Unwavering rod.
So will this just be yet another magic item that Chris forgets that Chaz?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't
And
know
then
why
by
I
the
gave it
final-
to him, because I would break it.
Andreas, if you can find a way to break an immovable rod, I will be very impressed.
No, I mean break mechanics using the mechanical rod.
Tell you what, if you can break the immovable rod, I'll give you inspiration for how...
I already
amazing
have
would that
inspiration,
be?
I'm not falling for that.
How much inspiration?
You can only have 1 point of inspiration at a time.
Tell you what, Andreas, here's the deal. You can either have this magic item, or I can give you inspiration. If you're willing to give up this item right now, I'll give you both inspiration.
I already have inspiration, so no.
Anyway, how did we... What happened with Clyde?
That far I don't know exactly. I don't remember to the best of my ability, but I think what happened was we were trying to strike a deal with him. And I think Earthmover now joined his side.
Well, not explicitly yet. He basically revealed that he was working for the thing that we're trying to prevent from coming into the world and destroying everything.
Yeah.
And basically, the gist was, if we join him and help bring about the coming of the thing, or like pay homage to it or whatever, that it won't destroy us. And if we want to go tell other people to pay homage to the thing, it won't destroy them either. So
But I don't like that. I don't
okay,
like
but if we just let everyone worship it, then it doesn't destroy anyone.
Okay. Let's get back into character then, because it seems you're caught up, and this should probably be a conversation that happens in character.
Alright.
Yeah, so Clyde, he says, so how about you two discuss this among yourselves for a minute? And he leans back in
I
his
was
chair.
just going to suggest the same. Alright. Drew, you get to deal with 2 NPCs trying to deal with my morally grayness.
So he says he's inevitable, yet he's not here already. Like, what kind of power does he think he has?
Fitch,
Death
do,
is
you know,
inevitable.
do you know what the phrase inevitable means?
I do not think that word means what you think it means.
Yes.
So, in saying that, maybe we just have all this wrong. Maybe he isn't inevitable, and he's just trying to convince people that he is, so that it makes his job easier.
Okay, but hear me out. Let's assume that it's going to come no matter what we do, right? And we'll either have to fight him or join him, right? We can either fight and win or lose that, or we can just not put up a fight, join him, and then be guaranteed not to die.
Well,
If we
you
could get
probably
everyone...
would die.
Probably. Well, I mean, you'll probably die eventually, but not, like, get murked by this...
But, like, have we ever met this guy? Have we ever talked with him?
No, but, I mean,
How do we even know he's even real?
I mean, the druids kind of know way too much. So if they warned us about it, it's probably happening.
What are the druids afraid of, honestly, though?
I mean, a super powerful being that's going to come use the power of
If
the different planes to manifest itself and wreak havoc
But
seems
if they
worth.
already know of it and they aren't gonna join it, why? What are they doing? Aren't if they know it's gonna happen and they know they're gonna die? Why aren't they joining his side?
Well, because they sent us to go stop it because they think we're strong. But if we just convince everybody to join it, then it's not really an issue because then it won't destroy anybody. We can literally make it a non-issue.
But then what would
Well, I
we have
wouldn't
to
say
change about
that.
ourselves?
Who is saying I wouldn't say
Clyde.
that?
Clyde says
You're
that.
not supposed to be listening into our conversation. Excuse you, sir. This is a private matter
Yeah,
And he just
exactly.
of
gestures to
decision
how
making.
he kind of gestures at the 5 foot difference.
You make a good point. I'm going to usher us back into the other room where we got the stone,
Where the tied up corpses are.
where they're like writhing and trying to get at us. Yeah.
Yep.
Keep my distance from them and just continue the conversation.
I for some I don't nah. um. So then this thing, what we should the druids should at least know something about it for to not try and stop it themselves. Why are they really just trusting a random stranger?
Because they're lazy and they want to get high in their tree forest. Who knows? Their tree fort.
So then, really, this thing, what is it, though?
Oh, did we ever get a description out of character? Did we ever get a description of it?
He's a fiend.
A fiend. That's right.
Do we know
So
this in character?
it's
Yes.
something from hell, or one of the hells, or demon, devil, something along those lines. It's a.
So then, shouldn't we be asking the priest here or about this?
I mean, you're welcome to. He's in this conversation.
Yeah, I know. Like, so I look at him, Homer, and
Yes.
say, what's the worst thing in hell?
I suppose the demon lord Asmodeus.
Why is he not coming? Like, I don't. That's what's confusing me. If it's supposed to be the worst thing ever, isn't it supposed to be that demon lord instead of a fiend?
Well, Clyde did say that whatever this thing is, it's not trapped in the hells, it's trapped somewhere in the Shadowfell.
So then, what's the worst thing in the Shadowfell?
Oh, let's see now. I mean, before an hour ago, I probably would have said Strahd von Zarovich, but now it sounds like it's this guy.
Okay, compared to the demon lord, how strong is this guy?
I mean, I've never heard of him before today. But I don't know everything.
Okay.
Just ask my wife.
So let's say hypothetically, if the demon lord wanted to come into all the realms and take over all the realms, would he be able to?
Asmodeus? Don't know if he'd be able to conquer everything. He doesn't really have much inclination to. He's pretty satisfied running things down there.
But if he wanted to, if he had the motive, could he?
I would say he could probably conquer some of the other planes of death, but I don't think that he could conquer the whole planerverse.
So then, what's to say that this guy from the Shadowfell, this fiend, is stronger than the demon lord, the one who's supposed to be the worst in all of hell.
Reach into my bag and grab the Earthstone and waggle it in front of him. These.
What's to say that? Okay, no, but like I said, if the demon lord had motive with all the gems, easily anyone. Actually, really, what's to say anyone can take over all the realms with all the gemstones?
Well, it's also possible that this creature's goal is not every plane, but perhaps it's just our homeworld and some of the surrounding planes.
Yeah, if you're going after the prime material plane and like if you're only interested in one relatively defenseless plane and you come at it with the power of every single other imaginable place, you're probably going to win that fight.
So would anybody. You could probably give a monkey the power of all the planes to try and conquer the material plane.
But now you run into the question of intent and motive.
Yes.
And if you had enough monkeys in a room with typewriters.
It would create the perfect plan to
To
eventually
conquer the worlds!
And yet, 2 lab rats in a cage for, 20 years couldn't figure it out?
You just need enough monkeys.
Wait, are you guys gonna raise an army of monkeys against this guy?
I am not.
What
Anyway,
about an
my
army
hot
of
take,
Masons?
we should go ahead, join up with Clyde. If we're going to be guaranteed to be safe, and everyone that follows this fiend is also going to be guaranteed to be safe, we just convince literally everyone to believe in the fiend.
Are
While we
What's
hunt
the
down the
motive of the
stones.
fiend?
Are
What
we
is the
sh-
motive of the fiend?
If he wants dominion, let him have it, whatever.
Why?
What difference does it make? Supreme ruler of a plane.
Zoe says, well, I mean, do we have confirmation that everyone that pledges loyalty to him will be spared?
I'm going to yell to Clyde. So basically, anyone that pledges loyalty to this fiend is going to be not destroyed when he comes and takes over the material plane?
Well, I suppose anyone that directly helps him conquer the prime material plane will have a guaranteed place in it.
So then why don't we just help? But then what about, okay, let's say this. How sure are we that everyone we recruit will help?
Or be physically capable of doing so?
Yes. So that just leaves all the people who are weak. Then he's just going to kill them all. And that's not
I
very good.
mean, define good. I mean, if only the strongest or the smartest people survive, is that really such a calamity for like the survival of everybody going forward in our plane? Like,
Zoe
I'm
looks
kind
at
of
you
not
stunned.
exactly seeing an exact downside.
Well, are you the best of all Earth movers?
I'm the only Goliath that I know that can do alchemy.
Yes, but shouldn't
But are
we
you the best Goliath?
shouldn't we stand up to the evil in the world to try to build a better world?
But who's to say that it's necessarily evil if by wiping out all the weakness, you make everyone that remains stronger and the future is stronger?
Well, why not just release some plague that only the strong can survive?
Yeah. Like, hold on. I'll be right back.
Earthmover is very stumped by that one. Yeah, we don't have one of those, but what we do have is something that's going to come wipe out everybody that doesn't help him. So if we only leave the people that can help him... Wait, I'm going to yell back at Clive again. What's exactly his motive for wiping out all the denizens of the plane he hopes to now inhabit?
I mean, He's been trapped down in the Shadowfell for a very long time. He's going to want to wreak some havoc for a while before he settles down.
So it's literally just to blow off steam.
That's part of it, and probably another part of it is shaping the world in his image and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but like if he wipes everybody out, doesn't that kind of defeat the point of ruling somewhere?
Well, he's probably not going to wipe everyone out.
Well, then is he going to have some kind of criteria for what he wipes and what he doesn't? Like this seems really ill-developed from what we have been given and from what you're able to describe thus far.
I mean, you're also trying to assume that he thinks the same way you do.
I mean, I'm just trying to think as logically as possible, which I would hope someone that has a plan to take over an entire plane would also think that way.
I mean, devils can and demons can grow in their power by destroying living beings.
So what you're saying is sacrifices would aid him coming faster.
Is that your plan to start sacrificing people to him? Like that might be able to help.
Because I mean, if it does, like, then we can do exactly that. We can be the plague that goes across the entire country and kills out the weak people. Sacrifice those to him, and then everyone who remains has assisted in his ascension.
Then Zoe says, "Well, even if you, how could you even suggest a thing like that?"
I mean,
And who's to say that, we don't kill a bunch of people, that brings it back sooner, and then he goes on to kill even more people because now he's more powerful.
if he's more powerful already, he has less cause to kill more people, right? I'd assume that there is a finite curve, like some kind of scale to which he can't go beyond.
I mean, he's a supernatural being that was locked away in the Shadowfell. Who knows what his limitations are?
Hmm.
Well, perhaps his plan is to burn down the world as we know it and build a new one filled with demons.
Well, there is a second option. If we think that he won't do something that is, in the end, good for the planes, or our plane, then we could join up with Clyde now and get his assistance collecting stones. And then when the time comes, use the stones that we have against the Fiend.
I heard that.
I'm merely stating all of our possibilities, Clyde. Also, you're not supposed to be listening to us. This is a private matter.
And all of the zombies chatter 3 times in unison.
Are you listening to us through the zombies?
Well, I mean, this hole is certainly helpful, but I was listening through them.
Could you, like, not?
I mean, there's a giant hole in the wall.
Well, I assumed we were speaking in, like, somewhat hushed tones, which is why when I was talking to Clyde, explicitly saying that I was yelling over to him to try and be, like, louder than our normal volume so that he can explicitly hear it.
Yeah, but don't you remember down in the catacombs I was able to hear you when you were whispering among yourselves? I have very good hearing.
Time to look through my spell list.
I cast silence. That'll help this conversation.
Well, if silence is a concentration spell, which I don't think it ought to be. Also, I probably an enchantment since I don't have it.
I think it's an illusion.
Why is it an illusion spell? Also, that means I should have had access to it, but we took that out of my
Well,
my
because it
repertoire.
affects your ability to perceive things. In this case, sound.
That's dumb. I would think like evocation. I mean, not evocation. Abjuration might make more sense, especially considering it's Bard, Cleric, Ranger. Like those are generally evocation spells. Anyway, it's really funny that the silent spell requires a verbal component, but you can't cast verbal spells while you're in there.
Yep. Once it
That's
goes up,
really
you
funny.
can't cast it again from in there.
So you can't. That means you can't ritual cast it from the inside.
Correct.
That's terrible.
Yep.
And it's a concentration spell, so it doesn't do me any good. Because the idea was to do not message, but the one communicate thoughts one,
Yeah,
the
that's
one that we
message.
had twin casted before, but
That's
I don't think I have
message.
access to either of those.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
I have my nice, super hot food in front of me.
That's good.
Super hot
Alright, so
fire.
where did I leave off again?
Basically,
Alright, what was Zoe saying again? Or was that Homer?
I think it was Zoe.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Earth Mover had suggested sacrificing a bunch of people to this Fiend. Zoe said that they shouldn't do that because it's intrinsically evil, pretty much.
And I argue that there is no such thing as intrinsic evil.
Are you sure about that? I mean, like...
Also, it's also been established that Clyde can hear you even when you whisper.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm getting out, and unfortunately that occurred when I suggested the plan B, which is join him for now and then betray him.
Hold up. Hey, out of character question.
Go ahead.
Am I allowed to send a message with my raven?
I'm going to. I'm going to say that you can. Okay, so what's the best way to phrase this? So your Raven, would Thitch have any reason to assume that the Raven Queen can see what's going on through the Raven? Is that a logical
Oh.
thought that would occur to him?
Yes.
Okay then.
But I need to be able to say so. I wanted to send a message to the Raven Queen.
Write something down on a piece of paper
That's
and hold
what
it
I
up
was
in front of the
thinking about.
raven.
Yeah, I mean Thitch knows how to write, right?
Yeah, he just can't do math right.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you probably have some. Do you have a paper and quill on you? Oh wait, you've got the magician's wand. You can use that to
Yes.
write things out with
I was going to
prestidigitation.
be doing that.
Nice.
Thanks, Drew, for reading my mind.
Yeah, you're welcome. I casted to detect thoughts. Oh yeah, that's also good because then it can magically disappear.
Alright, so... Clyde can't see us right now, right?
No, you guys went into the other room. But that is where the tied up corpses are, so you might be able to see through those.
At this point, I'm done because I was thinking about if he can hear through them, he might be able to see through them. And I was debating changing our communication within the group to handwritten, so at least he can't hear us.
Yeah.
Can I send my
So-
ravens and just poke out the eyes of the zombies? I mean, like, I'm
No,
gonna
no, no.
make it
I'm just gonna grab the rope and drag them out into the hallway.
Okay. Raven, can you poke out their eyes anyways? Just like what a raven does.
Wait, I thought you needed the raven to communicate.
No, well, I mean,
Also,
like...
I guess go ahead and roll plus strength because they're gonna try to resist you.
Rude. But they're incapacitated. They have disadvantage on grappling checks or something.
Okay, I'll roll with disadvantage then, but there's still 6 zombies.
That's true. They're also zombies and have a very
So,
low strength score.
Just so you know,
So I shouldn't be.
just so you know, you said advantage, right?
They have disadvantage
So
since
I-
they're all tied up.
Oh, okay. But I rolled a 1.
You can re-roll that. You're a halfling.
And a 20.
Okay, so are you helping Earthmover drag these bodies out?
Do I? I'm not a very strong person.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, maybe you push while he drags.
I
That makes sense, right?
guess.
Or no, even
Yeah.
better. You just grab onto an end and start running,
Oh my gosh.
and your little monk legs just dart you out into the hall.
Yeah.
Wait, so what was he rolling for?
I presume to help you.
I guess, yeah. I was gonna do it for the Raven to pick out the eyes of these zombies.
Why is that what you want?
I don't know to do Raven things.
That's also not usually how D&D works.
Okay, but either way, I hope it makes it quick. Because I was hoping to do this as he was dragging out the bodies. As Earthmover was dragging out the bodies, I was gonna use prestidigitation to write the message on the floor. And then when it was ready, I was just gonna call from a Raven. Wait, no. Is it on a piece of paper? I don't how.
The
I'm
message
gonna
can
send it
appear
to
on
the
any
Raven.
surface.
Huh?
The magical message can
Okay.
appear on any surface.
All right. So I put it on the floor, and then when it's ready, I tell my Raven to come look at it.
Yeah, you know what, Andreas? So it sounds like he's not helping you hold these bodies. So go ahead and roll plus strength.
Okay. Nat 20.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you just are like, oh, nope, nope. You guys are going outside. This is a private conversation.
Ya yeet.
And do you leave the door open?
No! I would close the wall, but that costs more stamina, and I don't want to bring that house down on us.
Yeah. Okay, and Thitch, what do you manifest?
I can't manifest a paper with the written thing on it, right?
No, but you can use prestidigitation to make marks appear on the ground, and those marks can be letters and by extension words.
Hey, I just thought of something really rude.
Make someone think that you have a magic pen when in fact you're just casting prestidigitation and then sell it to them.
No, that's its own. Basically, so Clyde is a vampire, yes?
As near as you can tell.
Cool, cool, very cool. So, write the messages on his forehead while looking at him. He can't look at the messages himself because, it's on him. And he couldn't even look in a mirror because, assuming that's also in D&D.
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually in the stat block, but it'd be really funny.
Oh.
Okay, but
Wait,
anyway.
is this a real thing in the game? That
No.
Well, that's a thing
I
in
don't think
folklore,
it is.
anyway.
That's from the folklore.
Anyway, okay. Thitch, what are you writing out with prestidigitation?
So I'm telling the Raven Queen that if she can possibly send some backup.
Okay, well, what
If
exactly
not,
do you write
if
out?
not for some advice, either backup or advice.
And the raven kind of looks at you, it looks at the message for a while and then looks at you inquisitively.
I don't know how I'm supposed to take that.
Okay, make an intelligence check. If you roll high enough, I'll give you an idea.
My intelligence is. Oh, wait, I have to bring that. Hold on. Give me a second. Why must I sign in every single time?
If you're,
Intelligence.
I would recommend insight, but his wisdom.
My wisdom is. No, that's a saving throw. Wisdom is +1. Wow.
No, I want this to be.
Insight.
No, I want
is
this to be
plus
plus
4.
intelligence.
Would it be plus intelligence?
Yep.
Alright, either one's fine. Oh, that makes it a 19.
Okay, with a 19, I'll tell you this. Chris, did you ever see The Martian or read the book?
No, I watched Interstellar. The better one.
Uh, we'll have that conversation later. But anyway, there's a
We'll
very
prove you wrong later.
anyway, there's a scene in The Martian where the astronaut he is trying to communicate back to with the scientists back on Earth using a recovered Martian rover that he, that he was able to get going again. The only way that that NASA could communicate with him was by rotating the rover's camera.
Mm-hmm.
So he sets up, to begin with, a yes and a no, and he wrote out messages on paper and held them up to the camera.
Oh. Okay.
Does that give you
Okay,
any
I see what you
ideas?
mean. Sort of. Um. So then, with my as regard to my question, send help or a device. I guess message received. I don't know. Would it be a message received?
I mean, you don't hear any messages in your head from the Raven Queen or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Raven is now looking directly at you.
I guess I'll just do it exactly that with the yes or no thing.
Okay, so you're gonna, just draw, like write yes or no out on paper.
Probably on the floor. I mean, I guess. Or actually, no. Never mind. Yeah, on a piece of paper. Do it on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Yes, up. No, down.
Okay. So then, I guess you'll need to ask the Raven Queen a yes or no question.
Exactly. Is it possible to turn? Do you still think it's possible to turn Clyde, or do you really want him dead? No. First, is it still possible to kill Clyde?
Yes.
So he goes up.
Yeah.
And next, do you really want Clyde dead?
No.
Are you able to send help?
No.
Is there any way for you to not... Okay. Is there anything else that you have... Do you have an idea as to some way to turn Clyde?
Yes.
So then... I guess I don't know what else to ask, like... Because we want to turn Clyde. Do you know of this Fiend?
Yes.
Is it true what Clyde said about him?
Yes, and then no.
Yes and no. Okay, so it's not completely true. Is there a way to stop this entity?
Yes.
Is it just by keeping the stones away, or is it that him coming inevitable? Well, first that, and then that question.
Okay, ask those again.
Is it the way to stop the Fiend by just taking away the stones?
It's simply yes and no.
Okay, that's an iffy question.
Yeah.
Is he just gonna come inevitably?
Yes.
As strong as Clyde says?
No.
And then last question. If we join him, are you willing to join us? No, that's second last question. Second last.
No.
And this is the last question. Hold on. I just had it and I forgot it. Um, darn it. It's gone. It was in regards to... Wait, what was my second last question again?
Would the Raven Queen be willing to join you in joining Clyde?
Okay. And... insofar as you know, Raven Queen, will this fiend still did I ask this question? Still come about? No, it's not inevitable. Completely forgot it. I don't know. I don't know what else to ask. I had it. I had a good question and I just lost it.
You want to ask Earthmover if he has any questions, then?
Yeah.
I had one for Clyde actually, but then you were thinking about that. I'm trying to remember what my question for Clyde was.
What kind? European or African?
No,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know that.
Well, Andres, your character gets launched out into the abyss. I'm gonna need you to roll a new one.
Darn! It's almost as if I already had a character concept.
Oh, well, no, never mind that. Never mind that. Earthmover stays.
You know both of my concepts for this campaign.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, do either of you have any other questions for Clyde and or the Raven Queen?
Um. Oh, I have one for the Raven Queen.
Yes.
Would you accept Clyde as a celestial of his own making?
There's a long pause and then eventually an up for yes.
Okay.
And the down for now. Not kidding.
And then like, the Raven looks at you, head sideways, kind of inquisitive.
That me?
Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to ask me?
No.
Okay.
Is it just interesting?
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me look at transmutation spells real quick. I have an idea.
Fly?
Ha!
Because that's a transmutation spell, everyone.
Yeah, but it's a dumb one. But it's not one I have access to yet. I don't have access to anything higher than first level right now. filter.
Also, if I had this question earlier, for Clyde, but about the Fiend, um, his goal is to take over the prime material realms, right?
As near as I can tell, yes.
So does that mean? Okay, so does that mean any realm between the Fey Plane and the what else was it, Drew? You
Uh,
know my favorite realm.
Alcohol?
Yes,
Not
that one.
actually a plane.
Would that? Hey, it is, and it will supply the world with alcohol, and I'll be I'll be the Elon Musk of alcohol.
Whatever that means in this context.
Or just Jeff Bezos
No,
of
Rockefeller.
alcohol.
Neither one of those are great implications.
I think Rockefeller is probably the better
Actually, yeah,
tycoon.
no, because iron
Yeah.
or iron or
No,
steel.
oil. Rockefeller was
Oil.
oil, Carnegie was steel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I would be the Carnegie of steel, the Carnegie of alcohol, or the Rockefeller of alcohol, whichever ones those are.
Yeah.
Dang it. That's unfortunate.
Wait, then wouldn't I just be the Greeks because of how much alcohol? Or no, I would be the Dionysus.
Yeah, so is that your plan? Team up with him. Earthmover becomes an earthen god, and you become the alcohol god.
You'd be more like Bacchus than Dionysus, personally. Wait, no.
Aren't they the same?
No, they're not. It's like saying Poseidon and Neptune are the same. Don't insult my
Are they
culture.
not?
The Earthshaker is angry today.
hmm We're not going to talk about that movie. Anyway, no, you actually know because it wouldn't be Bacchus. It would be Dionysus because he was also sailors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that
Hey,
fits perfectly. Yeah.
does he do mathematicians too?
No, but I'm a logician and an alchemist, which is neither of those are meth. Um, you sidetracked me hard. What was I thinking about?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to complain about the fact that message requires both creatures to speak the same language,
Hmm.
which the Raven still doesn't speak English, so I can't fix that.
But the Raven Queen can understand the mind of the Raven, right?
That still doesn't help me because she's not within 120 feet of us.
Wouldn't the Raven be a conduit for that communication? Because in essence, she sees through the Raven, hears through the Raven, and thinks. Well, not thinks through the Raven, but
Well, in order for a message to activate, you both need to share a language.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna write on paper. So again, none of this is verbal. But I'm gonna write that I intend to join up with Clyde for as long as it seems like we can get a profitable ending for the material plane. And in so doing, I intend to help him find the celestial gem, transition from an undead to a celestial, and rejoin the Raven Queen on his own terms.
The Raven nods.
Okay. Well, that's also like directed to everybody.
Yeah, okay, they all read that then. And Homer does that, but Homer's one of those people that always reads aloud.
Oh Lord, no, he doesn't get to read.
No, no. No, you're fine.
If he starts speaking, then all of a sudden Earth Mover just takes out Bone Crusher and hits him.
Just whack him in the head.
All right, here's the first offering.
The first offering.
But yeah, Zoe and Homer look at you, sort of understanding and nod.
Okay. Well, especially given like the brief part that I said about, like we could just like gang up with him and then turn on him once we have the stones that we need. So that idea has been planted in their head. But I'm also making it somewhat intentionally ambiguous as to which of those I intend to do at the current moment.
Okay.
Whether it is that I intend to actually devote myself to him now and then might change my mind, or if I intend on backstabbing him from the beginning. I'm leaving that intentionally ambiguous now.
Okay, and Fitch, are you okay with that plan?
Begrudgingly, but I will still not join the Clyde explicitly.
Okay, but do you have an answer for Clyde then? I mean, if you want to tell the Raven Queen, hey, I'm about to go lie to your ex-boyfriend, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Yeah. You probably don't use that exact phrasing, though, right?
May I?
Ex-fiancé. It's a little bit more serious.
Okay.
No, was gonna be husband, but never was.
Your shoulda, coulda, woulda husband.
I'm gonna lie too. Your shoulda, coulda, woulda husband.
Is that even a phrase that Fitch would come up with? I mean, I don't want to tell you how to roleplay your character.
Stupor, probably.
Was that a common saying on boats?
I mean, the number of no, because sailors generally married like right before they left if they had the opportunity.
Well, but I'm imagining that there's probably at least some population of sailors that ran away from their weddings and then just jumped on the first boat they could find.
Just jumped on the first boat. That's actually probably true. That might be a saying then.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
We could canonize it.
Okay.
But that wasn't me. I came from a monastery.
You were on a boat for like 40 years. You would have picked it up.
Yeah, did sailors ever say that? Is that how they were referred to the women they left?
You mean the men that left?
Yeah, they would have referred to themselves as shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Yeah, okay.
Because they're the ones that prevented the union.
Either way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no. You get what I'm gonna say.
So yeah, the Raven nods at you and then hops back up on your shoulder.
Yay!
Clyde, we've come to make a bargain.
Clyde, we've come to bargain.
Clyde, we've come to bargain.
How many times do I have to kill you?
Oh no, did you guys find the gem of the time plane, which I guess would be Meknes?
Yeah, I guess that would be... I don't like that.
What?
Two on
Just
the nose?
because they're clockwork doesn't mean that they're time. Well, I guess they're order, so does that count in, like, order of sequencing, or just order as in, like...
Yeah, and if the universe is completely logical, then it might also follow a preordained structure, in which case going back shouldn't be any more difficult than going forward.
How going back work?
That is assuming that time has laminar flow.
Yeah.
How would going back in time work? Like,
you just literally... I mean, you wouldn't be able to take forward experiences backward unless it was already preordained to be in the future that you would have the experience of having gone backwards, which is its whole other thing that we need not worry about for the scope of this campaign right now.
Yeah, for this conversation is probably a better way to phrase that.
Yeah,
I definitely haven't already considered how time travel mechanics would fit in.
What?
I mean, there's a time stop spell, which is really bad, and I'm making a better version. It does not deserve to be a 9th level spell.
But, okay, yeah. So you guys are going to go back through the wall then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Clyde, we have reached our decision.
And what might that be?
We are going to join in assisting with the collection of the gems.
Hmm. And he stands up from his chair and walks over to Thitch and clasps a hand on his shoulder. Really? Is that your plan?
Actually, yes, it is.
Then he looks directly at the Raven and says, well, looks like I won this round.
What does the Raven respond to
do I
this?
telepathically respond to the Raven?
Let me double check how your Raven abilities work.
How do diddly darn Raven? That wasn't one of the new Warlock packs in Tasha's, was it?
No.
It's still UA? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then. Sentinel, Raven, yeah, you could give it telepathic commands.
Yes. I say, put your head down.
You say what?
Basically, to my Raven to put his head down in defeat.
Okay, yeah, it does so.
Should the Raven make a performance check?
It's a Raven.
No, it's fine.
Do not question the Raven.
It's a Raven. Like I don't know how emotive.
All it's gonna do is like this, like
Yeah.
sulk down.
Yes, very good then. And by the way, Thitch, my friend, that little beauty mark you got there on your neck, are you interested in this time in going the next level with that?
Can we save it for later? I kind of want to fulfill my death first.
Oh, sure, that's fine.
Remember that whole entire conversation?
Yeah, okay, that's fine then. But just let me know.
Alright, when I'm close to death, you could probably ask me again.
Okay, sounds good. And he produces the Thanatos gem and says, by the way, if you betray me, I will know it.
I figured as much. I mean, the fact that you can monitor. I don't know how you're doing it, but you know.
And he hands it to Thitch.
Oh, to me? Okay.
There you go. So, do you have any plans for how you're gonna get back?
I assume we use that and go back the way we came.
Or come back through the portal, which might still be open or closed. I don't know.
I think it closed behind us.
Yes.
Probably.
Huh. Well, if you want, you could probably take the River Styx back.
That sounds unnecessarily dangerous. This thing makes portals both ways, right?
Does it make? Will the River Styx make me invulnerable, except for my heal?
It's very difficult to get that operation to work. Please try not to bathe in it.
What if I touch it?
Like I said, it's a dangerous river, but arguably the river to the north of here is even more dangerous.
Which one's that? What's that called?
Oh, that's the
It's
river.
the Pegathon.
Oh
Huh?
no, that's to the west or east. Pardon me. No, sorry, west. That was right the first time.
That would be to the west.
Yeah, I just misread my map, actually. Yes, that one's to the west. Acheron is in the east, and Lethe is to the north of us.
So we're headed south.
Yes, past the Raven Queen's castle. Hopefully she doesn't smite you.
Uh-oh. You might need
We'll
to hide
run.
from her.
I mean, as long as you're in these woods, you're safe from her direct influence.
Well, there you go.
Yes, because right now you are protected by Thanatos himself.
Is that a separate entity from the person
realm?
who rules the plane?
Yes, Thanatos was the first god of this realm.
And still lives despite the fact that someone else has ascended the throne.
Yes, he manifested himself as the woods.
So he retired.
So he is a woods now.
Yes. he
So
is
who are
now
the
a woods.
voices?
Well, some of those voices are him, some of them are various dead that died in the woods.
So is he a collective or is he a singular being?
Well, he is himself, and then he can draw on the power of those who die here.
So he didn't like assimilate them. He just uses them.
Yes.
I love how we're questioning the world right now.
Yes, I love it.
It's how to exposit lore out of the DM.
Yes. Yes, when a god of this plane retires, they become part of its geography.
Wait a second. So then you're saying
Where
to
did the
me-
rivers come from?
Yeah, where did the rivers come
Whose
from?
body am I swimming through?
Well, the river Styx was, well, the god Styx, and so forth. Acheron was named Acheron during his time.
No wonder why Styx became water. He was afraid of fire.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Alright, well, I guess we'll have to go down to the river and stick it out.
Yep,
That's the way home.
yep. Feel free to look around the cabin first. There's a lot of rooms you missed, weren't there?
Yeah,
Is there
but I feel like
other
many
goodie-
of them are going to be deadly.
Just be careful in the lab if you poke your head in there.
He's literally just welcoming us to wander around the rest of his house.
Yeah, if you want to. Your friends
When
know,
was the
right?
last time you had guests?
I don't think I
That's-
have enough fingers to count that.
That sounds like a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Was it? No. I was about to say, was it your wife? Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask. I was just going to assume that and move on.
So how'd that actual thing go around? How did that get around?
You know what? On second thought, it's getting
I'm
late.
kidding.
Maybe you four should go.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, we can definitely start off. It's looking like a good time
Hopefully-
to wrap
Well,
up. We
do
can,
you guys
we can
want
start
to-
off next session looking around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, or do you guys want to check in with the Raven Queen before we finish this off?
I figure we can check in after we leave.
Yeah. I do want to see if there's another immovable rod.
Okay, so you guys are
So
going to
on
want to
now.
explore here a bit next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want a removable rod.
But hey, now you've got 2 planar gems.
Yeah.
Also,
We can basically lay direct claim to a third one. We have 2.5.
also, Chris, you already have an immovable rod.
I want another.
Okay. As long as you didn't already forget the first one.
Greed
I want
consumes
another.
all.
Oh, you want an orange lantern ring?
No. Everything is mine.
Well, on that note, I guess that's where we're wrapping up for this session, with them kind of signing on with Clyde.
Kinda.
We're signing up with Clyde as long as it's useful.
Yes. And we're kinda helping him too.
Yeah, we're trying to help him explicitly.
Well, I've been your host and Dungeon Master, Drew, and I'm being joined by...
Earth Mover.
And...
Bitch.
Merry Christmas, everyone.